Now it's Radventure time. Let's kick it into action.
Alright, you rad scales, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about...
Wait, hold on. What did you just say?
Hey, you ruined my intro, man.
Yeah, but what'd you call them?
I said, you rad scales, you know, like you always say at the beginning of a video.
What? No, I say rascals. It's like, alright, you rascals.
Oh, what the heck? I always thought it was rad scales, you know, like a mix of our names, like Radventure and Scale Fire, Rad Scales.
Oh, well, I mean, no. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that was definitely planned. No, it's, we just dropped the D, but yeah, technically it's Rascals. It's a mashup of our two names, Radventure and Scalefire. Yeah, that was planned. That was definitely planned.
Right, so can I get on with the intro now? And I'll drop the D.
We're not doing that.
Alright, you rascals, welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite shows, Spider-Man. Or as you Americans call it, Japanese Spider-Man.
That's right. I let Scalefire do the intro because he watched Super Sentai and all those Japanese tokusatsu shows way before I did. I've caught up on quite a few of them. Like, before I really got into more of the, like, Japanese tokusatsu shows, like, I had seen memes of this, and I'm sure you've all seen memes of it, like the one where he's, like, trying to hit the ant with the hammer or whatever. So, yeah, so, it's definitely in the zeitgeist of, in popular culture, but I don't know if many people have actually watched, like, an episode. And so, yeah, eventually, I'd heard so many things about it, and Scalefire wouldn't shut up about it.
I'm telling you, mate, it's a great show.
Right. So, I finally checked it out, and, yeah, it was actually kind of better than I expected. It's actually really cool. But since he has a new movie out right now, I thought I'd also invites the American Spider-Man to sort of see what he thinks about this show. Well, why don't you come on out, Peter? I'm Spider-Man.
On the roost!
Hey guys. So yeah, I know about this whole like Spider-Verse thing. For some reason, I haven't been invited in the Spider-Verse yet, but hopefully someday I will. So I'm open to other interpretations of Spider-Man, but this one seems a little weird, to be honest. I mean, look at this guy. He's got this big, like, chunky silver bracelet. Like, what is that about?
Oi, mate, that's basically his henshin device. He's got all kinds of cool gadgets in there, and that's where he keeps his suit.
The one Mr. Stark made for me kind of takes care of that, and it doesn't look as big and bulky.
Oi, mate, keep in mind this was the 70s. The technology wasn't quite there yet.
My suits are pretty cool. And that bracelet?
Can't you help me get it off? It's kind of nerdy.
Whatever, mate. Let's just look at the show already.
So yeah, I know a lot of people, when they think of Spider-Man, they just think of like the memes. And I myself am guilty of that. I thought like, oh my gosh, this is like a ridiculous, terrible adaptation of Spider-Man, and that's the way I thought about it for many years. But I do think that Power Rangers fans or tokusatsu fans should definitely check this one out because it's actually quite tangentially responsible for a lot of what tokusatsu has become. It definitely led to a lot of the things that we see in tokusatsu today, and by extension Power Rangers. So our main character in this one is named Takuya. He's a motocross racer, and we get introduced to his family as well. And this was one thing that I like bumped into at first because I was like, wait, why is it not just Peter Parker? Like, it's supposed to be an adaptation of Spider-Man, so why is it not Peter Parker? But once I looked at it from a different perspective, I thought, okay, I'm not going to look at this as just an adaptation of Spider-Man. This is a tokusatsu show. If you kind of like pull that out of your mind, just like throw away what you might expect and just accept what you're seeing, it like gives a whole new perspective to the show. And I think that like in retrospect, I think it's a good decision that it's not Peter Parker because then we have this brand new character that they can kind of do whatever they want, which gives them a little more creative freedom. Then we cut to the cave where this guy named Garya is, and he's calling out to Marvela and Leopardon. So I guess he's sort of been like telepathically trying to contact these robots to like come save him for like the past 400 years. And then we cut to Professor Monster, who's been monitoring what's been going on. And that's another thing that at first like really tripped me up. I'm like, okay, your villain's name is Professor Monster. Like, is this like a first draft? Like, what the heck? Like I said, my first impression of the show was like, this is goofy, this is ridiculous, this is not Spider-Man. What the heck were they even thinking? How did this get made? The names are still kind of silly. Like, just like the other character, Garya, he's from the planet Spider. Like, okay, I know this is a Spider-Man show, but like, can you be a little more on the nose? But yeah, Professor Monster sees Leopardon heading towards Earth, and I love how like his henchman, Amazonas, she like holds up like a picture of Leopardon over the ship that's flying towards them to like match him up. Like, we got to make sure this is Leopardon. But it's like, bro, like, how would you, like, Have you ever seen a more unique ship, like a spaceship with a leopard head on top? Like, I doubt there's many of those out flying in space. So Professor Monster sends his dinosaur monster to attack Takuya's dad, because I guess his dad was doing like research on them and like he was about to like expose them or something like that. So the monster attacks Takuya's dad, and before he dies, like he tells Takuya about Iron Cross Army and like, you got to stop them. So this is like his Uncle Ben moment where he loses someone important to him, and now this gives him a little bit more of a personal mission to get revenge on the Iron Cross Army. And I like how after that happens, he sees the footsteps of the dinosaur monster and he just automatically is like, those are dinosaur footsteps. Like he has to follow them, like as if it's normal to see dinosaur footsteps, I guess. Like, but yeah, so he gets attacked and then he ends up falling in this cave. And that's where he meets Garia. And Garia has been the one that's been sort of talking to him telepathically throughout the episode, like calling him to him. But yeah, instead of getting bit by a radioactive spider, he gets like injected by the stuff called spider extract. And he gets this like silver bracelet, or I guess I think it's cool now, but like originally I thought like, why does he have this big like chunky bracelet on him? It doesn't, the real Spider-Man doesn't have that. In retrospect, I do love this like spider bracelet because it's basically his henshin device. So, he's got like gadgets in there. She can shoot his webs, his ropes and stuff like that. And it's also got like a little tech inside. So it's actually pretty cool. But yeah, at first, this was one of the things I was like, what? This is ridiculous. For whatever reason, he's the only one that can take his revenge on. So Takuya already has his father's death as a reason for revenge. And now Garia is also giving him these special powers to aid him in the revenge. And Garia tells him he's from the planet Spider. And he tells him he's been like he's like over 400 years old. And I bet like Takuya's just like, damn bro, you look good for 400 years. But I don't know, for some reason he just didn't age. Whatever, I guess the people on planet Spider can live more than 400 years. That's fine, that's not that big a deal. So Garia turns himself into a spider after he dies, I guess. I don't know, but he's a spider now. And then he tells Takuya, like, whoa, what are you doing? Turn into Spider-Man, go fight Professor Monster, and let's get this moving. So we see our first transformation. He gets the suit on, and he's like, I'm Spider-Man now. And his family comes in, and he, like, jumps the ceiling. And this is one thing that, like, always, I think even in, like, the American Spider-Man does this sometimes, but like when he's like hanging from the ceiling, like if people walk in a room and there's a man like clinging to the ceiling, you're gonna notice. I'm sorry, like I get you have to have a little bit of suspension of disbelief in like movies and TV shows and stuff like that, but like this one's a little hard to swallow unless you have like really high ceilings. Maybe you might not notice them right away because you're not gonna like look up. But like if you're just in a standard house, ceilings aren't that super high. If someone was above you clinging to the ceiling, you're gonna notice, especially if he's wearing a bright red and blue suit and you're like, you don't even have to have spider sense to like just sort of sense a full grown adult man clinging to the ceiling above you. So once I stopped thinking of this as like just sort of like got rid of my expectations of a regular Spider-Man show and looked at it more as like a tokusatsu show, it really like broadened my appreciation for this show because like it's actually a little more Kamen Rider with like some Super Sentai elements in it. And because he's a lone hero, he's on a motorcycle like a Kamen Rider or a Masked Rider, if you will. And so there's that aspect of it. And he's like always on his own like, solo missions. But then when the monster grows big, then it turns into more of like a Super Sentai. He calls on his giant robot and he fights it and stuff like with his giant robot. And that's a little more Super Sentai. And this was actually one of the first shows where there was a giant robot because, they had Spider-Man, but they wanted to sell more toys. So they created this like Leopardon. And that's the other thing too, like, why is his robot a leopard? Why wouldn't it be like spider themed? I guess it has like webs, so technically it's a little bit spider themed, but it's also leopard themed. So like make up your mind, bro. Because this giant robot thing was so successful, then other Super Sentai shows after that started inserting giant robots into them as well. So I think that's kind of a cool like secret origin of like Power Rangers / Super Sentai. And like again, that's when I started to appreciate it more. Like, and it is a cool robot. I mean, like when it's like in a ship mode, he's got this like leopard head on top and he's like flying around, and then it transforms into the sort of Megazord style, if you will, or battle mode if you're like a Tiger Zord. So it's pretty cool. I would love to have one, but like, yeesh, they're pretty expensive from what I've seen. But yeah, like my opinion on the show changed a lot. I got introduced to other tokusatsu shows and started getting a little bit more appreciation for the genre as a whole. Like not just Power Rangers, but like started watching some Kamen Rider, some Ultraman, some Metal Heroes. And I got a more wider view of the whole like tokusatsu genre. And so then I went back and watched this one with a more of appreciation and understanding like its influence on the genre as a whole. So yeah, like if you were one of the people who also like kind of looked at it like, oh, this show is ridiculous, I would say give it a shot. Like even Modern Marvels has a new appreciation for the show as well. Like Takuya showed up in some of the Spider-Verse comics. Even Leopardon shows up again. Like he even gets a new suit design because I guess his suit is basically the same as regular Spider-Man suit. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I wish they would have went a little more toku with it. There's some of those like tokusatsu Spider-Man suits like in the game. I wish it looked a little more like that. And I even heard rumors that he was going to be in Spider-Verse 2. He never showed up, but now they say, oh, maybe it's going to be in part 3. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen. That it might just be like an actual rumor. I don't know if it's based on anything real, but if he does show up in a Spider-Verse movie, that's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, that's Spider-Man, or Japanese Spider-Man, if you will.
Oh, mate, I told you this show was cool.
Yeah, I guess he is pretty cool. I wouldn't mind teaming up with him in some sort of Spider-Verse adventure. Spider-Man, what are you wearing? Oh, this? I got myself a spider bracelet as well. I thought you said it looked nerdy. I mean, I got a new appreciation for it. I think it looks pretty cool. Okay. And I'm hoping I can use it to call Leopardon. Sorry, Spider-Man, that's not on the budget. I'm calling on him. Okay, do it off screen. All right, anyways, thanks everybody for watching. If you appreciate the content I make here, make sure you click the link in the description to buy me a coffee. And hit the like button if you haven't done so yet. And subscribe to the channel. Until next time, everybody. See ya!